Hello, this is What's It All About with another watch review. This time we're looking at the Avi-8 Hawker Harrier II 4004. The Avi-8 watch manufacturer have really exploded onto the scene recently, just this year in 2013, with a really impressive collection of aviation-themed affordable watches. They all are extremely well built, and they all have really unique design features to them, which is really unusual to see nowadays, because you'd assume that everything's been tried and tested with aviation designed watches, but Avi-8 have proved that no, it's not done yet. There is plenty of new styles and new design features to bring into the aviation themed watch market. So they've done a really good job in redesigning a lot of aviation themed watches. So we'll have a look into the 4004 to see if it is worth the £300 price tag that it's worth. So first off, you'll notice that it is quite on the large side, 42mm, and it has a dual crown as well. We'll show them both in use later on. But another key feature, I think, is the very angular case. You'll notice the lugs are quite angular, and if you look at it this side as well, it's all quite definite and angular. But that is a good design feature of it, and I personally really like it. And of course, you'll notice that retrograde dual time subdial at 7 o'clock as well. So we'll have a look at that and see how it works later on as well. Okay, so let me just take it off, and we shall have a look at it in closer detail. So first of all then, with the case, as I mentioned before, it is very angular, and because of these angles there are a few sharp edges and sharp corners, but that is just natural for the design of the case. Everything is brushed apart from two places, which is the outer bezel and also the case back. And this is really nice because it does give the watch nice reflective properties when it hits the light right. Just having these two aspects of it polished, so it does look nice with this contrasting finish. You'll notice as well we have the two crowns. So the top crown controls the inner rotating bezel, which is always a nice feature to have. So you can easily use it as a stopwatch. So if we set that there, and then we started timing 20 minutes down the line, the minute hand would be here at 4 minutes past 3, and then you'll be able to tell that you've been timing for 20 minutes. So it is a really handy feature to have. It feels very smooth when you use it, and it's easy to move around, but also gives a little bit of resistance, so you can be certain that it's not going to move without you wanting it to. The bottom crown controls the movement, which is a Miyota movement. It's quite interesting how it works. So if we pull it out, so the first section, when you pull it out, controls both the date. If you twist it clockwise, controls the date, and then interestingly, if you twist it counterclockwise, it controls the dual time. So if I twist it backwards, see that starting to move, and it should fling back. There we go. So it is really easy to set this dual time, which is a great feature of the watch, I think. And then if we pull it out to the second point, obviously the second hand stops, and you can set the time. So I really do think that the second dual time and how easy it is to set it is really, really handy, especially being that it's an aviator watch. Theoretically, you'd be wearing this when you're traveling a lot, or if you're a pilot, for instance. So using a dual time will be quite handy, and it is also very easy to tell the dual time, because usually in all other time zones it will just be an hour difference. So realistically, all you would need to do is see what the hour is. So in this case, we'd be able to see that it's 7:45 using this dual time in our second time zone. So that is a good feature, and I really do like it. So let's move a bit closer and have a look at the dial itself. You'll notice that it has a subtle texture to it, which I personally love. I think it looks really good. And then the dual time zone subdial doesn't have it, so it makes it stand out nice in a nice subtle way. So that's good. I do like that. Obviously, the date window is surrounded by a roundel, which again is very aviation themed. Personally, I probably would have preferred it to not be quite as bold as it is, but it is still nice to have a splashing of colour into the dial, and it still does look pretty good. All of these hour markers are applied as well, so you are getting a lot of texture and depth to the dial, and the 1 and 2 of 12 are both applied as well, and they're all really immaculately cut out and applied as well, which is good. So around the inner rotating bezel, we have a loom pip within a red triangle, and that pip and the two hands are the only loomed parts of the watch. The loom isn't too strong, but it is there, and when you have given it a chance to charge, you can see it, but not for too long. The hands themselves appear to be made of a plasticky material. You can see, if I get the reflection, you can see their reflection and what they're made of. I do like the second hand with a red plane as its tip, and then it's got an interesting counterbalance as well, which is like a inverted arrow. So that's quite interesting as well. I do like the thought that's been put into the hands. So all in all, when you're looking at the watch, I think it's really well designed. It looks great, and it looks really impressive on the wrist as well when you've got it on. So if we move over to the case back, is very well engraved, nice deep engraving. You'll be able to see it in better detail when I put the macro lens on. So you'll notice there that the case back is polished. So again, that stands out quite well, and it looks good. The crowns have nice roundels on the end, deeply etched as well, which is good. And this little ring here is actually made of rubber, so it gives you really good grip when coupled with that gripping texture as well. So I really do like the crowns. A lot of thought's been put into them, and they look great as well, and they feel really good in the hand. The leather strap is exceptionally soft leather. I've found with Avi-8s, their leather straps are really, really good. It's so supple and really easy to bend, and it just feels so soft, and it feels really high quality. So I am very, very impressed with the strap. Has a nice contrasting white stitching around the outer edge. Has this lump in the centre as well, which gives it a bit of depth. Looks nice, and it feels good. The loops are also made of high quality, very soft leather. And then we have the buckle with the Avi-8 logo etched in quite deep there as well. So all in all, the strap is really, really nice. Okay, so I'll put the macro lens on now, and we can see it in a bit closer detail. So starting at the dial, have a look at the close-up of the texture on the dial. And they've done a good job of printing on it as well, because it could have the potential to be quite hard and quite messy to print on this textured dial, but they've done a really good job of keeping it very accurate and very very good printing. Notice the applied hour markers as well, looking very smart and perfectly applied and cut out as well. Let's have a look at the roundel. One thing I have noticed as well actually is the dates on the date wheel itself are a bit too big for the window, because when you get to the 20s it does look a bit cramped in there, and sometimes it's hard to see the full number, which is a shame. Here's the dual time subdial. Let me just move there's the hand moving. Okay, so let's have a look at the inner rotating bezel with the pip. Again, very well printed, and then just move it around. Looks and feels very good when you do. So now the case itself. Let's have a look at the machining and the finishing. All the finishing is very good on it. The polished bezel is very well polished, and then these angles are very sharp and definite because of the design of the case. That's the finish. Look at the crowns in close up. So that's the rubber ring with the grip, and then there's the roundel on the end as well. And then here's the deep etching as well, which is nice to see. Sometimes the etching on the back can be a bit light to save money, but they've really done a good job on the case back with this icon of a Hawker Harrier as well. So that's a nice touch. So all in all, a lovely watch. I really do like wearing it. It does get a lot of attention, and it looks great on the wrist. One other thing I haven't mentioned yet is that the crystal is mineral, which is a shame, because at £300 you would, personally I would prefer a sapphire crystal, but it is extremely clear. As you can see here, you barely notice that it's there. It is extremely clear. It's got a good layer of anti-reflective coating on it, which does a very good job. But with mineral crystals, they are able to be scratched. They're less scratch resistant than sapphire. So personally, I prefer sapphire crystal. But I still think that it is a lovely watch. It's very well machined, very well made as well. Has some really unique features and a unique design. And the leather strap is very nice as well. Let me just put it back on so you can see it's on the wrist. And I personally really like it. Okay, so that's what it's all about. And this was the Avi-8 Hawker Harrier II 4004.